Hello everyone, how are you doing? It's Amanda. I hope you're well. Today is the 17th of December, although I might not get this uploaded until the 18th. We'll see how we go. I made another video this morning, which was a channeling of Bob Marley. So if you haven't seen that, have a look at that. It was all good stuff. But in this video, we are going to be doing an update on the twin flame energy. And I don't actually really know what's going to come out in this, so it's going to be quite interesting to see. I've got a number of different decks that I'm going to use, and we're just going to take it from there. All that I do know so far is that Archangel Raphael wanted to be present, and that was very noticeable, that of all the archangels, Raphael was the one stepping forward. Raphael comes in on the green ray, and I'm going to use the spray that we make sprays of all the archangels, but this is the Archangel Raphael spray. And I sprayed it before coming on, and I felt it going down my back, as though it was strengthening something in my back. So let me spray it now, just to sort of set the energy, and then we'll get into the reading itself, okay? So let's bring in Archangel Raphael and the green ray. Let's open our hearts and let's ask, please, for the best guidance for those of you that are watching this video today. Okay, so I've done a number of twin flame readings over the last couple of years. My most recent one was, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago, something like that. The one that talked about Tower Bridge. I'm actually going up to London in a few days, so I may very well stand on Tower Bridge and I don't know, see what the vibration is there. But let's see where we're at in December, going into 2020. I have a feeling that 2020 could be a year which highlights the twin flame energy. Every time I look at the numbers 2020, they remind me of two beautiful swans. You know, the two very much feels to me like the swan energy. And we know that swans are very loyal, very loving, and they really are able to practice and embody unconditional love. So I feel as though the 2020 energy is going to help those of us that are on a twin flame path. And got the card of infinite abundance on the bottom of the pack that I was just juggling, so that's quite nice. It actually says, it's Ganesh, it says obstacles are being removed, spiritual support and connections are increasing. So we'll take that. Thank you, Ganesh. But yeah, you know, we'll see what the 2020 energies are going to be like. I'm not going to repeat myself ad nauseum about what I believe twin flames to be and what I don't believe them to be. If you found this video and if you are on the twin flame path, you know that it's not for the faint-hearted. I've said that many times, and it's certainly not something to try and put yourself into a particular box or apply a label. I'm not into labels, but at the end of the day, you have to call a video something, otherwise nobody would turn up and watch anything. The twin flame path is a path that is real. It is not something that everybody goes through. It's just one way of the soul experiencing what it needs to experience in a particular lifetime. I've also just got this card that's come out. The colours drew me in, and it's Lady Venus. And look at the colours on that. Isn't that beautiful? That feels almost like an energy for 2020. That beautiful turquoise blue in the background, the golds. I don't know, I just love that card. It just feels so peaceful to me. It really speaks to my soul. And what it says is truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. I feel as though that's a nod to the fact that a lot of spiritual help is coming to bring together or bring back together people who ultimately are meant to be together. A lot of my readings are based on people who have been in separation for quite some time. And I truly believe that if you're meant to come back into union with somebody, it's going to happen some way, some shape or form, but you've got to let go of the control, and sometimes you just have to let spirit come in and do what it does. So It's going to be an interesting year. Let's just see where we're currently at, though. And I'm just wondering which of these wonderful packs to start with. I'm going to start with the Rumi Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And I don't think I've actually used this before in a reading of any description, so it'll be interesting what we get. So let's just see. Archangel Raphael. In fact, I've got a few archangels here. I've got Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael wanted to be present, and of course Archangel Metatron. So we've got three very powerful archangels here. And Lady Venus, of course. Right, so let's have the first card. Look at that. This is the one on the top of the pack, and this is the one on the bottom of the pack, okay? So the one on the top of the pack says, the lover and the beloved. Card number 35. 3 and 5 make 8. 8 is the symbol of infinity, and it's often used in relation to twin flame union. So we've got the lover and the beloved, and I tell you what strikes me on this card. Over and above the actual couple that feel so happy to be finally back together or to have found each other, and she's almost in some sort of like bridal dress, which says to me that it's not just about finding each other for some sort of quick fling or reconnection. This is about finding each other and committing to each other for, you know, the rest of your life, basically. It's a long-term commitment. It's nothing sort of just fleeting. But what I love about this card is, can you see all of these other sort of angelic and celestial beings that are watching on? It's like they're watching on and what I'm hearing is the completion of their work to get these two back into this sort of state of being. Now, it could well be that you're already together, and so maybe the angels and the celestial beings are helping you to try to have a deeper connection with each other, and to learn more about each other and just celebrate what you have as a couple. Or it may well be that you're apart from your beloved at the moment, and that all of this angelic and celestial assistance is helping to bring this couple back together. And what they're doing is that they are bringing them back as one, okay? So it's the symbol of one. The card is just called one. And what's it got? It feels as though it's very linked into the blue ray and the gold ray. Maybe that's why Archangel Michael particularly wanted to be here. I'm not particularly into this thing of saying, you know, oh, I'm a blue ray twin flame, or I'm this or I'm that. To me, it's completely and utterly immaterial, actually. But there is a nod here to the colours blue and yellow. And what do blue and yellow make? Blue and yellow make the colour green, okay? So we're back to the Raphael energy. And blue and yellow coming back together and making green. Green is also the colour that links very much into the heart, okay? It links into the energy of the heart. So right off the bat, we've got the lover and the beloved becoming one, and doesn't get much better than that, really, does it? So anyway, let's put those above as our sort of overriding energies, and let's have a look at where the divine masculine currently is. Okay, so I'm going to pull a couple of cards just linked into the divine masculine energy, and for this I'm using the divine feminine and masculine reunited deck by Christabel Jessica. Okay. So let's just have one card for where the divine masculine is at this moment in time. So divine masculine going into 2020, where are they at, please? They are feeling the separation of being apart from you, okay? So this is the card of anxiety, stress. I'm almost wanting to say depression in some cases. Feeling the separation very keenly. We've got the old Facebook symbol here, so maybe it's a case that, you know, you're not in communication on social media. But it's like, it's not saying that obviously they're checking their phone every 5 minutes. You wouldn't want that either, because if they were doing that, then that would be a very clingy, codependent type energy. But it's just a nod to the fact that they are feeling the separation very keenly. I'm also feeling, you know, in that furrowed brow that we see there, it's almost as though they're not quite understanding the separation. So separation is real, it's happening, and it's sort of like, I'm also feeling, what can I do to correct this? What can I do to bring you back into my life? What can I do to hear your voice again? What can I do to be able to start communicating with you again? What do I do? And it's I'm also feeling it's as though if they're on social media, it's as though they're looking at other things on social media, and it's like, you know, it's like that is not fulfilling me, you know, because all I really want to see is you. All I really want is the message from you. All I really want is to hear your voice, because I'm in separation and it's causing me anxiety. It's causing me angst, basically. So it's a card of angst. So that's for the divine masculine. Let's see where the divine feminine is. Where is the divine feminine? Going into 2020. Oh, sorry, before I even do that, the thing with this card as well, the card of separation, is it's about, I'm going into another year without you. That's sort of the energy. I'm going into another year without you. And I you know, how do I write that? I can't cope with another year of not hearing you, okay, not being with you. Divine feminine, how is she feeling? She's got the goddess of rage, Sekhmet, 2 lions. Okay, let me see what I want to say about this. Even though it says it's the goddess of rage, is she feeling that towards her divine masculine counterpart? Possibly, a little bit, you know, but I think it's sort of beneath the surface. It doesn't mean that if he were to come back that he's going to get it. It's more, what I'm drawn to there is the 2 lions, and it takes me back to 8-8. It takes me back to the Lion's Gate. And it feels as though this particular divine feminine has been waiting since particularly Lion's Gate. I'm not even saying of any particular year. It doesn't even have to be of this year. It could be last year. It could be 5 years ago. But it feels more like it's this year in particular. Maybe going into 2018, but it's certainly 2019. It's like I've been waiting at this Lion's Gate. If you don't know what the Lion's Gate is, it's a portal that happens on 8-8 every single year. And remember, 8-8 is the symbol of infinity. I've said that 8-8 is a symbol that links to the twin flame energy. So it's like, I'm waiting for you. Where are you? It's almost like I'm getting a bit fed up of this. You know, there is an energy more of, I'm a bit fed up of this waiting game, versus you know, I'm gonna give it to you in terms of any sort of aggression. There's no aggression there. It's more just like, I'm fed up with this, you know, sort of, when are you when are you going to communicate, basically? When are you coming back? Because the thing with this lady, and you know, this follows on from all of my other twin flame readings, is that I've never got the impression that it's a case of the woman having to do the running. We're entering into a year, a decade, a century, I want to say, a new millennium, which is going to be about the rising power of the divine feminine energy, and the world starting to recognize her worth. So on the back of that, what the divine feminine energy doesn't do is sort of go running and whimpering and pleading and cajoling anybody back into their life. Because the thing about this is, she knows her worth. She knows her beauty, she knows her worth, she knows her power. And it's sort of like, I'm still, you know, where are you? It's more that energy. There is, though, a little bit of latent anger with it, okay? And I would say that is for the divine feminine to heal at this present moment in time, because there's no point raging at a partner that isn't even there. There's no point raging at him in terms of his higher self. It's like, you have to own your stuff. The twin flame journey is very much about the need to own your stuff, okay? Not projecting it onto a partner, whether they're there or whether they're absent. It's about you doing the inner work on yourself. So that needs healing, okay? And it can be healed in a variety of ways, you know, through, I don't know, channeling it into productive ways, whether that be through exercise, whether it, you know, pounding the streets, whether it be through writing it down, getting it out of your body, burning it, whether it be vocalizing it, not to them, but, you know, just aloud to a friend or something. But it's about don't let it fester. Don't let it fester. Allow expression of it. Okay. Right. Let's pull 2 cards now from another deck, and let's see what they do to these 2 energies. So let's stay with the divine feminine for a moment, and let's see what goes with this energy of the goddess of rage. Okay, the goddess of rage. Oh, I just thought, those of you that watch my videos regularly, there's been a consistent message that's come up in the last few videos, and it was a card that I kept pulling, which was about women's rage will change the world. Okay, women's rage will change the world. And here we've got the goddess of rage. So again, and I said very repeatedly in the videos that I've made, it's not about the women being like really angry and aggressive and fighting. It's not about that. It's just about I deserve more, you know? I deserve the best that you can give me. You know, if you're going to come to my table, you show me the best of who you are. You know, get past this stuff. Let's bridge it. You know, let's. She's like a mighty warrior. And I do feel as though there's almost a slight danger there that she can become quite intimidating, which probably isn't what the divine feminine wishes to be at all. So it's like, you know, look in the mirror and just see whether that message in terms of women with rage are going to change the world. What does that mean? What does the word rage mean? I would almost like to change it to passion, you know, women with passion, women with fire. There's another card in another deck which talks about fire. What deck was that? This one. Sorry, squeaky chair. Let me just get this card out, because in fact it probably is the one which has got the one about the women's rage. Let me just get it. Because it's an image that you need to see more than anything. So this is for the women. Where you're at. Where's it gone? Here we are. That's it. Look at these 2 cards. Can you see how similar they are? Okay. This is the divine feminine. I said this in another video. This is me. You know. This is the female energy. Powerful, strong, passionate, fiery. You know, ready to take it on, ready to do it. You know. Yeah. Let's pull 1 card from this deck. Divine Feminine. What deck am I using here? Wisdom of the Oracle by Collette Baron Reid. You see, even these 2 cards, 6 and 3. 6 and 3 make 9. 9 links into the planet Mars, which is the fiery planet. There's a lot of fire. There's a lot of passion. Do you think they're going to wait forever? No. It's as far removed from sort of like the victim consciousness as you can get. Right, 1 more card for Divine Feminine, please. Go the distance. Yeah, I mean, here we've got the lions, and here we've got, I think it's supposed to be a cheetah. And the thing is that the Divine Feminine knows that she's quite near the finishing line, and that she's prepared to see this through no matter what. Now, what I mean by that, I'm going to see it through no matter what, is if you can't get past this, okay, whatever this is, then that is sad, but then I will get on with my life, okay? It's like, there is just a feeling of completion that is needed, okay? A feeling of completion. Even if the feeling of completion in this lifetime is, it's very sad that you can't get past the separation. You can't step forward and communicate. I make peace with that. I accept that. It's almost like see you next life type energy. It really is. And I'm not being flippant there. But it's like I have all of this passion, all of this determination, all of this motivation. If you don't want it, then somebody else will. And that's not a threat. It's not being done in a negative sense. It's just that this can't be contained. This is too abundant. It's too amazing. So the divine feminine in a very strong position here. And it's as though we'll see now what the divine masculine energy is looking like, because they sort of need to rise up and to meet her. The thing with twin flame union has always been two strong individuals coming back together, not two weak and needy energies in terms of I need you, help me. It's none of that. It's very much I am a person in my own right. You are a person in your own right. Let's go and set the world on fire is what I wanted to say. Okay. Right, let's have a look at where the divine masculine is. So let's pull a card for him from, got so many decks here. Which deck am I using? That one. Okay. Is that right? No. Is that one? Oh, this one. Okay. This is the Blessed Bee deck by Lucy Cavendish. Okay, divine masculine, please show me, angels, where he's at. He's here. A blessing on your boundaries. Now, I was watching another twin flame reader last night, Angela from Mystic Moon, and she does a lot more twin flame readings than I do, but it was quite interesting because the video that she was doing was showing that there were boundaries with regard to the divine masculine energy. And what she was saying on that, and what I'm also picking up here, is that I'm going to soften my message a little bit here, because it was along the lines of the fact that the divine masculine realizes that there are boundaries that can't be crossed at this moment in time. And it may well be because the divine feminine, for example, is already in a relationship. She might be in a karmic relationship. And so it would be wrong to step into another person's relationship dynamic and split it up for splitting it up's sake. I've always felt that when twin flames that are in other relationships come back together, it will be because they come back clear of any other third party situation, okay? Because the union that needs to happen is sacred. You know, the angels are cheering on here, this couple that have come back into union, and they're not cheering this couple on to have left somebody else out in the cold, to have made somebody else unhappy. So I feel as though the divine masculine, and what I'm hearing is stuck between a rock and a hard place. They are either still in a relationship with somebody else, or maybe there's another circumstance around them. It doesn't have to be relationship, but that's just an obvious one. But there is some boundary which is preventing them from coming back to her, even though they can see that she's highly desirable. It's where they want to be. It's just like this parameter around them whereby they know that for various reasons they can't reach out, and that's why the separation is creating so much anxiety, because it's like they know they can't reach out. They know it's making them unhappy, but equally they're seeing the divine feminine growing in confidence almost daily, and they also know that she's not going to wait around forever if she's also on her own, okay? That's assuming that she's on her own. If she's not on her own, it's just sort of like this appreciation of how she's growing, and this yearning for something that they can't quite have. Right, let's pull one more card from this deck, and then we're using the same decks for both parties. So let's just see any other message for the divine masculine. It's interesting, that card on boundaries. And of course what the card is saying is bless the boundaries, because you wouldn't want to reach out to somebody and cause complete and utter devastation in terms of, I don't know, breaking up some sort of relationship or marriage, you know, then you'd have the fallout of all of that to contend with. So when the deeper connection or union happens, if it is going to happen, it will be because spirit have come in and cleared the camps, as it were, for both parties. How that happens, who knows, you know, and it doesn't have to be in a tragic way, or it'll be in a way that basically serves all people concerned. I think a prayer that's very important is that may this situation resolve for the highest good of all concerned. And that's all concerned. It's not just you and me if there are other people involved in it. Okay, so bless the boundaries for what they are, and just realize it is what it is. Let's have one more card. So the divine masculine. Sorry, just have one card. No, I only want one card. Sorry, the battery died. I have been doing quite a few videos today. The card that came out is the card of deep knowing, and on the bottom of the deck we've got the fates. So what this is saying is that even though at the moment, divine masculine, I'm hurting because I'm in separation, he's actually hurting more than she is at the moment. Doesn't mean she doesn't care, but he's hurting more. Because, you know, she's probably had, you know, many months or years of where he's at now, in terms of, I know I'm feeling the pain from this separation. It's like, so even though he's there, even though there are these boundaries around him, which means that he can't yet reach out, he has a deep knowing within himself that it is fated. Okay. If it's not fated, it's in the hands of fate, okay? So that message just seems extremely clear to me. Very deep knowing that even though at the moment it feels impossible, somehow the fates, destiny, are here, okay? Or not are here, but will come into play at some particular point in time. Let's have a look at where the connection is at the moment. Put that necklace around there. It's making a noise on the table and annoying me. Right, so where the connection is between the two of you at the moment. I call it connection rather than relationship because, you know, if you're not physically with somebody, you're not in a relationship, but you are in an energetic connection with somebody. If it's a twin flame situation and this is somebody that you've just never ever been able to let go of, forget. Again, just this deep knowingness that there's sort of like unfinished business between the two of you. Right, let's have a look at the state of the connection then, right now. As we go into 2020, let's have a look at the state of the connection. No place like home. And then we've got the card TikTok on the bottom. No place like home is what it says it is, which is that you are the only person who has ever made me feel as though I am at home. Okay, you are home. You are home to me, and I am home to you. And the thing is, we both sort of know that, but at the moment, we may not actually physically be in a home together. But tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Clock is ticking at some moment in time, of which spirit knows, then something just feels as though it happens. Okay, let's have another card that goes with tick tock, tick tock. But certainly in terms of the connection, you and I are home. I am home when I'm with you. You are home when you are with me. There has never been anybody else that has made me feel as comfortable, as recognised, as one. Go back to this card. As one. Okay, you and I are as one. I feel at one when I am with you. Do you understand now why the angels and the celestial beings will be celebrating when these two get back together? Okay, what goes with the card of TikTok? To the sea. I hate that card, actually. I don't know why I hate it so much. It's really interesting because I love water. My favourite place in the world is to be in the bath. I'm, you know, anybody that knows me, I'm in the bath all the time. I love bathing. And I love water, and I'm a Cancerian. Why does that card trigger me? I don't know why that card triggers me. Always does. I'm always dissatisfied when I see that card. Card number 7. Shall we read what it means? It's as though I want to skirt past that card when I see it. It comes up all the time as well. Number 7. What does it mean? What does it mean? To the sea. In terms of relationship, this is what it means. There are points in a relationship where you have to decide to go with the flow rather than dictate the course you share with another. Can you let go of the need to have things your way and allow the relationship itself, your combined goals and desires, to steer the ship? Can you both transcend your personalities and allow the partnership to form its own identity, its own energy? Now is the time to relax and see where this mutual journey leads. Isn't that interesting? I've never actually read that before. So yeah, what it's basically saying is this connection between the two of you, it has a life of its own, okay? Remember this card 1, okay? This card 1. This is the energy of you and your twin flame combined. And that in its totalitarian, oh, that's not such a word, in its totality, that's what I'm trying to say, in its totality, has an energy which is completely and utterly unique. And it isn't so much about what the divine feminine wants or what the divine masculine wants. It's about the connection. Let the connection grow in the way that it's meant to. This relationship, this connection has a life all of its own. It is about letting go and surrendering and allowing it to flow where it needs to flow. Yeah, so the card is about being in flow, returning to source, recognizing how pieces fit together, a natural pattern of events. So why did I say that card triggers me? I guess because in terms of twin flame journeys, flow isn't always a word that you necessarily would correlate with the twin flame journey. It can be bumpy. It's been, I think, historically a connection which has been very sort of stop, start. I mean, I've never really been into that whole thing which a lot of twin flame readers talk about in terms of the runner and the chaser. That just feels so old now, you know, it just like, if it ever applied at all. You know, we're all grown-ups, aren't we? We're mature people. Nobody should be the runner. Nobody should be the chaser. That's almost like for the playground. I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, but to me, it's just never, ever resonated. But having said that, there certainly have been periods in anybody's twin flame journey where it's like both parties at different times have tried to control it in some way. And that might have also been one person saying, right, that's it, thank you, you know, no contact ever again type energy. Or it might be something different. But it's not about just let this flow. Let spirit, two birds flying over as I look out of the window, let spirit dictate what's going to happen, okay? Let go of the ego as well. Let go of the ego, step into the heart. Okay. Right, let's just pull a few cards from another deck. What questions do we want? I'd like to ask a question about where the journey is going to take the twin flame energy in 2020. These cards are just called The Journey. Okay, The Journey. So 2020, twin flame energy. Can we have a look at 2020 energy for twin flame? Wow, wow. What is this? Shall I read what it says? Rage. This rage is not who you truly are. You are love. My God, okay. And then on the bottom of the pack, we've got the card of reach. And it says the changes you are trying to make are getting closer. This feels like, it's almost like an energy of, and I know this is going against what I've just said in terms of flow, but we are human beings, okay? We're allowed to feel what human beings feel. This is almost like, I can't stand it any longer, okay? It's like, this is a card of I'm raging at the world. Why are you not hearing me, Spirit? Why can I not have this? Okay, why can I not have this? I've got the words from one of my teachers in my head, and what Melissa always used to say to me was, you can never fight it right. You can only love it right. It's a great saying, hey? You can't fight, what did I just say? You can't fight it right. You can only love it right, okay? So 2020 is where, if any of us are holding on to a feeling of, this is almost like it's not fair, it's not happening, you know, why is it not happening? You're gonna have to let that go because it's not going to serve you. It's reminding you you're not that, you know. You are love. You got to step into love. If you're wanting this sort of complete energy, which is unconditional love, you have to be love. You have to be love. You have to, and that sounds such an easy thing to be. It's actually not. To try to be love in every moment of every day. How would love respond to something? You know, you can practice that very easily. Just go onto social media tomorrow. Go onto anybody's post that is slightly controversial, or God forbid talks about politics or something like that, which presses people's buttons, and just look at all the people that are triggered and then try and respond with love. It's not as easy as you think it is. Okay? So if we're wanting this union of unconditional love, we have to be love. We have to let go of the rage. But yeah, we also had women's rage is going to change the world. I need to pull a card on rage, I think. Shall I do that? Let's pull a card on rage. I'm going to pull one from the Archangel Metatron Oracle deck. Why, Metatron, is all this energy of rage? Okay, one's just fallen out of the deck. Communication. And the energy of pink on the bottom. You have to change the way that you communicate. Or you're encouraged to change the way that you communicate to yourself as well as to another. And you see, because communication, it's coming up big time in this reading. I don't think I showed you the card at the start. No, I didn't. When I was tuning in, before I even pressed play on the camera, Metatron showed me the symbol of the caduceus. I can never pronounce it. Caduceus. Which is linked to the Roman god Mercury. Okay, let me find the card, because I was looking at the card. Did I put it back in the pack? But the point is that it's linked to Mercury, who is linked to communication. Here we go. Okay, this is the caduceus, the staff with the two snakes that surround it and the angel wings at the top. The staff is the masculine energy, the snake's supposed to represent the feminine energy, the angel wings. So this energy about communication. I also feel as though whoever has, for couples who are in separation from each other, I think there is this feeling I'm picking up, and I'm not going to apply this to either the divine masculine or the divine feminine, which is that somebody feels as though they're going to get it in the neck. You know, it's as though if I make contact again, if I communicate, I'm going to face a barrage of anger or rage. You know, why did you do this? Why did you go? You know, don't you realise how you made me feel? All that type of stuff. And if there is any of that, that all needs to be cleared, guys. That all needs to be cleared. You need to be doing the work on yourself. Remember, divine masculine and divine feminine are interchangeable energies. You have both within you. Okay? A softer form of communication is needed to bring this connection back into closer proximity to each other. And it has to be the voice of love. It has to be that. I almost feel I want to say there's an energy here of growing up. Okay, there's an energy of growing up. I think not for everybody watching this. I'm not saying it applies to everybody watching or to you, so don't be offended by this. But I do think the whole, there's almost like an old paradigm of relationships that is going out of the window now. And it's linked into a more immature way of dealing with relationships in terms of being, I don't know, captivated by the drama, you know, or I mean, some people even get off on arguments, believe it or not. I can't understand that energy at all, but some people do. You know, it's like the making up, the arguing, the making up. It's like I've never really understood that. It's completely the opposite from the twin flame energy of unconditional love, all of that. But maybe there are just remnants of it within us. And if there are, they need to be cleared. We need to really clear this energy. I'm going to actually spray some sage at this point. White sage smudging spray. Just to clear the energy here. Let's have another one in terms of next year, the journey for twin flames. You've got to let go of rage and you've got to step into love. You've got to be love. Not just to your twin flame, to yourself, to everybody else you meet. You know, you can't... The thing with this is, embodying unconditional love isn't just about these two people and sod everybody else. Okay? It's about trying to maintain it at a very deep level for everybody you come into contact with. Is that impossible? Yes. All the time, 24/7. Of course it is. You're a human being. But if you wake up every day and strive to show love, even to the people that trigger you, even to the people you don't like, then you're on the way to embodying unconditional love. Right, the journey next year for twin flames. So let go of rage, step into love. Clarity is coming in. Clarity. You're starting to see clearly how powerful you really are. Okay? So it's almost as though when the rage goes, you start to clearly see what's what. And the card on the bottom of the deck says, hold tight. It says there is a storm coming, but do not worry, it is clearing the air. It feels almost, as what I've got here, it feels as though the collective consciousness around twin flame at the moment needs a bloody good clear out. Excuse the language, but that's what it feels like it needs. Let go of all of the old, almost sort of immature energies surrounding it, which is like, you know, everybody's my twin flame. I don't believe everybody's your twin flame. You can believe that if you want, but, you know, if you're watching my video, I believe we have one twin flame, okay? That's what I believe. You don't have to agree with me, but that's what I believe. But not everybody has to experience their twin flame in this lifetime. Your life isn't over if you don't have a twin flame or you're no longer with your twin flame. But for those people that are on a specific path in this ascension journey that involves the twin flame experience and coming back into union, I'm talking to you. And for people like that applies to, it feels as though there needs to be a big cleansing of a lot of misconceptions that you might have about each other as well. It's like a clearing of the decks, clearing of misunderstandings, clearing of he said this, she said that, he did that, she did this. Going into 2020, it's as though communication is key to clear the air. I mean, it may even be a case that even though we've got this card of boundaries with regard to the divine masculine, it may well be that communication can recommence to a degree, even if union doesn't then come back into being. Because remember, you know, there may be third party situations here, but at least there can be some clarity in terms of this is how I feel, but I know you are not free. It's that type of conversation, you know. Apologies due, maybe, clearing up misconceptions of the past. Expressing this is a card of frustration. The word rage to me isn't quite right. It feels like it's frustration. Frustration, but yet clarity is coming. Hold on tight. Let spirit clear the path. So I'll have some water. Hold on, guys. Right, where are we going now? I'm going to pull 2 more cards and then that'll be it. Okay. What are we going to ask? I'd like to please see. I'm just going to say two more messages, please, that are linked into this particular video that people need to hear. 2 more messages linked into twin flame going into 2020. 2 more messages. Right, we're going to have to look at Venus because we pulled the Lady Venus card earlier. And now we've got a card, Al Azua, Star of Venus. I'll have to read you. I don't know what that means. Okay, they're new cards. And what goes with that? And that's card 26, 2 and 6 make 8. Another twin flame, infinity, energy. What goes with that one? Resplendent with grace. Right, let's read the message that goes with this second card linking into Venus. Lady Venus, card number 26. What does this mean? These messages are quite wordy in here, so I'm just going to pull out the relevant point. Read the end bit here. If you are stumbling with judgment within yourself, do not fear. The blessings of Venus is coming to you to help you surrender, to help you find your way through so that you can be free. Your guidance then is to trust your path, trust your evolution, even in the face of those around you reacting to it, possibly in fear or discomfort. Trust in the path of others too, for in truth there is one path and we are all on it. You do not have to convince anyone of anything. That is not your job. Your job is to embrace your wisdom, embrace your freedom and empowerment to grow spiritually and to live your life accordingly. You are becoming, through bestowal of grace, something more of a goddess and a god, of a human and a sacred animal integrated as one. This is sacred alchemy, amplified in the star fire of Venus, who loves you as a brother or sister and honours your soul with her blessing. Shine true, beloved, shine bright. I'm wondering when Venus shines most brightly in the night sky. I might have to look that up. I'm being drawn to when Venus shines most brightly in the night sky as raining down some blessings upon the relevant parties. And what it seems to do is bring in a state of grace. Do you know what I'm feeling with this reading as we get towards the end of it? I must sign off in a moment because my daughter's about to come home from school. But what I'm feeling is there's going to be some form of massive clearing that takes place to help bring clarity to this connection and to nudge it on, whatever that means. There's so many different people watch my videos. You know, you're all going to have different circumstances, different situations going on, but there's a clearing coming out, a clearing coming up, and it feels like it's divinely orchestrated to bring some people back to a state of oneness with each other, so that you can become the lover and the beloved, and you can be in grace. To get to grace, there needs to be a cleansing of the worst parts of rage, because I still feel like rage can be both a positive and a negative thing. Many things can have both a positive and a negative connotation. The negative side of rage is just intense frustration. You know, I can't bear this. Remember, I had that for the Divine Masculine. I can't bear this separation. It's almost like a feeling of injustice. You know, why can there not be a coming together? That's what both parties feel as though they want. And then after the storm has cleared, we seem to get to this just very beautiful energy of Venus. Downloads and understanding, truth being revealed, help coming from heaven. I sort of want to go back to this card, home. No place like home. How do we get there? We're back to Dorothy again, aren't we? We're back to Dorothy in the Yellow Brick Road. No place like home. She didn't exactly have an easy journey getting back home. You know, there were many twists and turns on that Yellow Brick Road. But yet she was helped upon it. And but communication seems to be very needed at this time between these two people to try and make sense of what on earth this is all about. If it's not that, maybe it's communication that's coming in from your guides, who are giving you signs. Deep knowing. This is fated. It's meant to be. I think that's as far as I can get on this video. Anything else to say? Let's just end with Raphael. We started with Raphael. Let's end with Raphael. What this energy feels like is dynamic and moving. It doesn't feel stagnant. Even though we've got the card of boundaries and even though we've got the card of separation, it doesn't feel stagnant, you know, versus other readings I've done in the past. It feels as though there is what Raphael is saying is there is an undercurrent that you cannot see that is carrying you back to each other. Okay, there is an undercurrent, but yet you're on the surface, you're on the top of the wave, and you're just sort of, you're not seeing the bigger picture. There's something happening that's underneath. And indeed, you know, look at that card, hold tight, okay? It's like there's something happening underneath to bring back a state of grace. And it feels as though not just there's angelic intervention, there is also Lady Venus feels as though she's coming through very, very strongly. Let's see if we can connect with Lady Venus at the end. I'm just going to use the pink Lotus spray. It's not actually a Lady Venus spray, but you know, I feel like she comes in on this ray. Lady Venus. Lady Venus, star of bright. Let me hold you in my sight. Let me steer you into calmer seas. Let me bring you greater peace. There's something about the Venus star. I'll have to look that up. I don't know what it means. I'll just do a quick search on it. It's actually 330, 333. 333 energy. Let's just see what it says. Venus star. Let's say 2020. See if that pulls anything up. Oh. 2020. Oh, has brought something up here, guys. I'm glad I looked at this. Pause the camera, just need to find. Okay, you can look it up yourself, but from what I can gather, it looks as though Venus seems to be particularly visible, prominent, going through to next spring 2020. So we might come back to that, guys. We might come back to that. Anyway, I hope you found this reading helpful for now. Good luck with it all. Remember to always work within and hold that flame of unconditional love, not just for each other, but for yourself and for the wider world. Much love, everyone. See you all soon. Bye.